One of the simplest ways of understanding what awakened consciousness is it's consciousness that has discovered itself. It's awareness that has come to know its own nature. Something extraordinary happens to us when we learn how to bring our attention to the seat of awareness itself.
Welcome to Meditation Changes Everything. We've all heard that meditation is good for us. Studies show that it reduces stress, improves concentration, and makes us more resilient to life's challenges. But what if these benefits are just the tip of the iceberg? What if meditation could actually change everything? According to pioneering meditation teacher Craig Hamilton, this powerful practice is capable of transforming every aspect of human life. In this podcast, Craig shares key insights and practices from his 2 decades of teaching meditation to help you unlock the life-changing potential of this ancient practice. In today's episode, Craig explores the unfathomable mystery of consciousness. Awareness, or consciousness, is perhaps the most profound fact of human existence. In every moment of our waking life, we are aware, we are conscious. Yet because of our habitual focus on our thoughts, feelings, and sensations, most of us live our entire lives without ever becoming aware of consciousness itself. Over the next 20 minutes, Craig will guide you on an experiential journey into your own awareness, how it works, where it comes from, and what happens when you learn to identify with it as the primary locus of your own being. Because this episode includes several periods of meditation, please listen when you are in a safe, quiet place where you won't be interrupted.
So to begin our journey into the mystery of awareness, I just want to invite you to sit here with your eyes open, just looking around the room or the space you're in. And just notice everything that's in your awareness right now, everything you're aware of. Look at the walls, the furniture, the windows. And the sound of my voice and any background sounds you can hear. Your own breath coming in and out of your body. Whatever feelings or emotions are present right now. The thoughts passing through your mind. Now I want to invite you to notice who or what is aware of all of those things. See if you can notice the awareness that is registering the walls, the furniture, the windows, the sound of my voice, your breath going in and out, your feelings, your thoughts. Notice the awareness in which all of that is arising, in which all of that is becoming known to you. You don't have to notice it in a particular way. You don't have to have a certain kind of spiritual experience of awareness right now. But I'm just drawing our attention to what may be the most mysterious thing in the universe, and what is certainly the primary fact of our reality or our existence as beings, which is that we are aware. And we have no idea how or why or even where it is that we're aware. Awareness is part of the cosmos. It's you see, the fact that awareness exists is something that literally has the scientific community baffled. And for generations of science, it was ignored because it just seemed like something that you couldn't even talk about or think about scientifically. Now there's a whole division of science known as consciousness studies. By the way, awareness and consciousness we're using essentially simultaneously here. It means the fact that there's an inner reality. There's an outer reality, you could say. There's this world of things interacting with each other, the forces of nature, the wind blowing, the rain falling, the storms, the forces of geology and land formation, forces of hydrology and water and, rivers flowing and oceans. And, there's this whole world of forces and physical interactions happening. And then there's this whole inner world in which all of that can be experienced. And here we are right now, drawing our attention to this inner world. And just look at it. Look at this inner world of awareness. It's miraculous. Here you are, you have this body with a head. A head is part of the body. You have these eyeballs that look out, or seemingly look out. They don't really look out, right? If you look at how vision works, it's light gets absorbed by certain receptors and represented by certain parts of the brain, and then lo and behold, you subjectively as a person have this amazing this experience of this visual world. We're not looking out windows, but we're having this full, amazingly rich, three-dimensional visual world, this world of sound. We're like the interior of the world is happening. We have no idea how or why or where. And I'll explain more what I mean by where. Well, in fact, let's just, since we're starting with a little contemplative exercise here, let's explore the where for just a moment. So again, we'll use visual stimuli for a second. So look at an object across the room from you, on the other side of the room. Pick anything, a chair, a bookcase, a doorway, whatever. Just look over there. Now, we are taught to think of awareness as something that exists in the middle of our head. And we look over there across the room and we, just without thinking about it, just kind of assume that now through this miracle of the senses, of our eyesight, That thing over there is now represented inside the middle of your head. But just leaving behind what you've been taught to think and how we've been taught to think about, just look directly at your own experience of awareness. So allow yourself to really, again, give your full awareness to that apparent object across the room. Where is the awareness of that object occurring experientially? Where is the awareness happening? It's over there, isn't it? I mean, or let's put it this way. It's no more inside your head than it is over there. There's no sense that like somehow that object has now moved in between your ears. Is there really in your experience? And in fact, if you intensely give your attention to it, notice that really, even more so, the experience is that the awareness is where the object is. And try moving, move your awareness, move your attention somewhere else, look at something else. And notice that miraculously awareness now is over where that is. And if you just look around a little bit, and even if you have a window and you can look out really far away across at a tree or something, or a building, now awareness is there. So just notice the awareness that is registering all of this. Notice that it's not really locatable somewhere. And my point here, by the way, I'm not trying to trade a belief that awareness is in your head. And I'm not trying to really convince you that awareness is or isn't in some way caused by the brain or correlated with the brain. These are purely phenomenological or experiential exercises that we do here. So we're not trying to assert a philosophy and get you to believe it. But what I'm trying to just point out is that in our own experience, awareness is a kind of mysterious, ineffable thing. We don't really know where it's happening. Experientially, it seems to be everywhere. Wherever we focus our attention, awareness is there. We certainly don't know why or how. No one's been able to figure that out. And yet it's probably the most profound fact of our existence. I mean, what meaning would our lives have if we weren't aware? And this is, again, something the scientists in the consciousness studies world and the philosophers in consciousness studies, they talk about. They sort of try to get you to imagine human life going on without awareness. Just like they have these zombie experiments where they say, imagine there's no inner world. There's just these beings with no interiority going around and living their lives. And then some philosophers say, see, that proves that awareness is irrelevant. It doesn't have any meaning or impact. Anyway, they get into some very silly places that are really counterintuitive. But the point here is we live in this mystery of awareness. This is really the very center of our universe and reality. It's the main event, you could say, of a human life, is this fact of awareness. And yet, we almost never notice its existence. And by that, I don't mean we're not ever aware. We're always aware. We're always conscious, except when we're literally unconscious, which is possibly when we're asleep, maybe other times, but so we go through life aware, but our awareness, or just awareness, is always focused on things. It's always focused on objects that arise within it. If you watch, think of awareness as your inner life, your inner world, your inner experience, your focus, and notice just how it goes. It just goes from one thing to the next. There's always something arising, and we're always focused on that. One moment it might be the thought stream, or processing some event that happened yesterday, or we're thinking about what we're going to do later, or we're puzzling over a problem, or thinking about something we read in the news. And then it gets captured by a sound that we hear outside, and we think our attention goes there. I wonder what that noise was. Oh, maybe that's my neighbor. Oh, I need to tell my neighbor that thing, whatever. Now it moves over there. Or we get captured by something visually, and maybe something beautiful, the sunset, and our attention's now there. So our attention just moves from one thing to the next, and we're always aware of these objects, these things that are happening, inner and outer. But until we sit down to meditate and consciously notice this mystery, we could essentially live our whole lives without ever becoming aware of awareness. And I would argue most people probably do, or maybe they have a couple moments in life when they just happen to notice this mystery. Now, why is this so important? Why does awareness need to be noticed? Mystically speaking, or spiritually speaking, one of the simplest ways of understanding what awakened consciousness is, because this is, of course, what we're all in pursuit of, right? We want to awaken to our true nature. We want to awaken to who and what we really are beyond the mind, beyond our concepts and our ego stories. And one of the simplest ways of understanding what awakened consciousness is it's consciousness that has discovered itself. It's awareness that has come to know its own nature. Something extraordinary happens to us when we learn how to bring our attention to the seat of awareness itself. The other part of in addition to awakening to the mystery of awareness, is discovery of the infinite self. So, to just ponder the self for a moment, when we talk about ourself, we think about the self. Again, what do we really mostly think about? We think about a lot of things about the self. We think about how we feel about certain things, what we value, what's important to us, what we're doing, what we have to do, what we have done in the past. They're all things about the self. The self that we mostly mean when we say myself or I is this kind of narrative that's built up about all these things about a self. But who really is the self? Or put another way, who's the self that's experiencing all those things, that's able to have those thoughts, that's able to pay attention to the narrative that you're telling yourself about yourself? And what happens when we give our attention fully to that, fully to the one who is living this life, having this experience, registering all of that about the self. From the point of view of awakening, that's the big event. The big event is when you or I can, for a moment, leave behind our fixation on the objects that arise within awareness, our relentless attention to things, inner and outer things, and allow our attention to be captured by consciousness itself. From there, all manner of profound and mysterious things unfold, an exploration of consciousness itself, awareness itself, who we were before we had any idea who we are.
If the approach to meditation we've been exploring today inspires you, you are invited to tune into a 90-minute online workshop Craig will be hosting called Meditation 2.0, The Miracle of Direct Awakening. In the workshop, he'll share a powerful new approach to meditation practice and guide you in a series of brief meditation experiments so you can experience it for yourself. You can listen to that at freemeditationworkshop.com. That's freemeditationworkshop.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, we hope you'll share our show with others. And please subscribe and rate us wherever you listen to your favorite shows. If you have a minute to write a short review on your podcast app, we would deeply appreciate your support. You can stay connected to the show by subscribing to our newsletter at meditationchangeseverything.com. Each week, we'll send you new audios and videos from Craig, and we'll also let you know when we release new episodes of the show. For a deeper experience of Craig's approach to meditation, consider joining our Awakened Life membership program. Each month, you'll receive in-depth teachings and guidance, including a meditation workshop, 4 guided meditations, and a live online retreat with Craig. And when you register today, you can receive your first month for 50% off. Go to awakenedlifemembership.com to learn more and enroll. That's awakenedlifemembership.com. Check out our show notes for links to all the ways you can stay in touch with Craig's work. Meditation Changes Everything is created by Craig Hamilton, Susan Fries, Mason Ewald, Stephanie Murphy, Will Bowman, and Richard Klein. From all of us, thank you for tuning in.